What's going on, brothers and sisters? Chris here from Namaste Gaming, and today we're going to be taking a look at the upcoming Bazaar of 4 Winds patch coming on July 9th. This one may seem kind of light on actual content, but do bear in mind that they're now on a strict 2-week release schedule, so we know for sure that on July 23rd, there will be another patch roughly this size, and so on and so forth, until the inevitable heat death of the universe. Let's get to it. So we've got a new permanent minigame called Belcher's Bluff, which is an Om berry juice drinking game. There will apparently be challengers spread all across the world who will have to beat to learn signature skills, and then we can challenge our friends in some sort of PvP mode. This sounds like what would happen if Pokemon got turned into a drinking game, kind of. I mean, if I were to turn Pokemon into a drinking game, it'd only have one rule, and that rule would be drink every time a Pokemon says its own name, but that's probably a horrible idea unless you hate your liver. Anyway, the description is all kinds of vague, but it's permanent content, and that's always nice to get. Sanctum Sprint is the next item on the agenda, and it's actually sounding pretty cool. The way this game handles skills and abilities could make for a really fun racing minigame, and while this is the first time they've done something like this outside of guild rushes, I feel like they'll probably make this one fun enough that not many people will complain about it. I'm pretty sure this is just meant to be a fun little activity to do a few times, get some achievements, and then forget about it, so hopefully the achievements they put in reflect that, because if they do something silly like win 75 Sanctum Sprints in the 2 short weeks that it's available in the game, people are going to go from loving it to hating it with the quickness. More on achievements later though. The last piece of playable PvE content that they're giving us a preview of is a scavenger hunt called Lessons from the Sky, in which we'll be exploring the labyrinthine cliffs, which sounds like a place we've actually never been before. We'll be showing our mastery of wind, sun, and lightning by finding hard-to-reach places. They sure are being vague with this stuff lately. Don't they know I'm trying to make videos about this stuff? How am I supposed to get you guys all fired up for the new content when they're only giving me 2 lines of text to work with? Hey, guy who handles the content release previews, do me a favor. Act like you're getting paid by the word, or I've got a couple of hard-to-reach places for you to scavenge, brah. Anyway, moving on, we're going to be getting some shinies. We've got some new back items, and once again they look like something that belongs on a wall and not a person, as you can see from the screenshot. Again, I know there are players who will see this and say, this is the perfect back item to complete my character, but you've got to understand, so many of us are waiting on some form of cape, cloak, even a bloody shawl at this point, that every time they add something like this, we have to release some of the tears or we'll drown ourselves. Please try to understand. Anyway, these ones actually look pretty decent in my opinion, and if I stop being cheeky for a minute, there are probably a lot of characters who can rock this look and actually pull it off, and more variety in appearance items is never unwelcome in my opinion. Just put in cloaks next time, real talk. Next shiny on the list, Personal Quartz Node. For the first time since release, we'll actually have a good reason to go back to our home instance, which is something that I'm actually really excited about. For those of you who didn't follow the game pre-release, the home instance was pimped pretty hard to the we want player housing crowd. I'm talking purple suit, feathered hat, and gators level of pimp game here too. We were told it was going to evolve with our personal story, we'd have friends we made during the story who would show up there, monuments to the tasks we'd accomplished. We were pretty much told that with what they were going to be giving us, the player housing of other MMOs would be a step backwards. Yeah, not quite. Getting back to the Personal Quartz Node, though, we'll have a reason to go back to our home instance every day to mine some quartz, which is a new material being used to craft new recipes. Seems like it could come in handy. Hopefully the new stat combo is something interesting. I've been hopeful for some power, toughness, condition damage armor myself, or maybe celestial stats if they're feeling really froggy, but I'm not going to complain about any new stat combo really, even if it's something absurd like healing power, toughness, magic find. Actually, I'm not going to lie, that's horrible enough that I would complain about it, but you get my point. Hopefully this is the first of many additions to the home instance and a step towards player housing, because WildStar's player housing looks awesome, and I'd hate to see Guild Wars 2 not even try to compete there. Competition is supposed to drive innovation, after all. Last on the list of shinies is a model of the Zephyr Sanctum itself, which you'll get from doing the previously mentioned scavenger hunt. I don't know why this thing appeals to me so much, but I think I have to have it. I'm a total sucker for anything involving airships in fantasy games. I blame Square Enix for raising me on a steady diet of steampunk between the Final Fantasy series and Chrono Trigger personally, but yeah, I'll be getting this thing even if it takes me the full 2 weeks to do it. By the way, you guys remember last patch when I talked about how it was kinda lame that we were getting skill points for the scavenger hunt when they said they wanted to start giving out things like laurels for achievements? Well, burn me for being a witch, because the account achievement reward system is on the way with this patch. We're going to be getting a ton of awesome rewards, which will hopefully not be locked away behind soul-crushing grinds. Rewards like new armor skins, weapon skins, permanent bonuses to things like magic find and karma gain, siege blueprints, badges of honor, gold, even gems. If they do this right, this will be the most rewarding achievement system in an MMO ever. If they do this wrong, this will be the most annoying achievement system in an MMO ever. The idea is absolutely beautiful and has the potential to add a whole new level of depth to the game. I just hope the guys who asked us to smash 300 piñatas and light 700 effigies on fire were kept far, far away from this one. Will this achievement reward system be the next great hero of Guild Wars 2 or Tyria's most dastardly villain? We'll know on July 9th, I suppose. On the PvP front, you guys get a pretty cool looking new map with a badass name. Skyhammer is going to be a high-tech Asura lab with jump pads, a little bit of environmental destruction with floor panels that can be shattered, and a giant frickin' laser. I honestly don't see how this can possibly go wrong. PvP in an Asura lab with a giant frickin' laser. Just let that sink in for a second. I mean, I'm always kinda tough on them for only having one PvP game mode, but honestly, I ain't even mad. Skyhammer is, in my opinion, the coolest thing in a patch that features airships, the beginning of the long-awaited updates to the home instance, a drinking game, and an achievement reward system that is almost definitely going to shower me with a bunch of free stuff for things I did 6 months ago. Congrats, PvPers, you guys genuinely deserve it, even if you people did get my Mesmer nerfed. Finally, Build and Repair Mastery are quite possibly the least exciting new World v World masteries they've put into the game so far, but they may also end up being the most useful, especially if you happen to be into small group tactics in World v World. I don't know about you guys, but if we're going to be getting something like this every 2 weeks for the foreseeable future, I'm pretty stoked. I know I'm pretty critical a lot of the time, and most of you understand that it's because I'm passionate and because I want Guild Wars 2 to reach its true potential, and I guess that's kind of what I'm driving at here. If they can keep putting out game-spanning updates like this every 2 weeks, and adding on new content, both permanent and temporary, I can see this game hitting full stride by the end of this year. If this patch is exemplary of the minimum of what we're going to be getting every 2 weeks, brothers and sisters, we're in for a hell of a treat. That's all I've got for you guys today, but I'm interested in hearing what you guys have to say about this stuff, so let's get some good discussion going in the comments, and as always, I'll hop in there and chat with you guys. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button on your way out, and if you're new around here, go ahead and click the subscribe button now so you don't miss anything. Much love to all of you awesome human beings, and stay black.